Greetings fellow gaming fans, I am Small Archangel and welcome back to my creative zone. Though at this late stage in Alpha 13, creative zone is more of a state of mind than an actual game save. And basically when I have an idea to do something creative, I kind of do it in one of my regular save slots and yeah, then bring it to you guys. So I haven't done very much in the way of creative saves for quite a while, so I thought I'd showcase this, my most recently completed base as well. I say completed, it's not actually completely completed, if that makes sense, but it's more or less there now. It's in a state where I can showcase it fairly proudly. This is what I call the Volcano, and you will see why when I show you it in action, or at least when I show you how it's supposed to work. So it's based on a pyramid design, and I should probably say this is just a... Ooh, that's respawn. It is just based on basically on a pyramid design, but with some sort of straight sort of edge platforms there. So it's staged. It's a stepped pyramid basically, and on every sort of flat surface, and there's five of them on the way if you count the very summit as well, I have placed a ring of spikes. Now it's pretty quiet around here at the moment because I've got rid of most of the local Z population. However, there are zombies around, and this is just, yeah, so it's a normal survival game. There's a zombie over there in fact, and a bear. So yeah, this is just a normal survival game. It has taken me some time to sort of make this. And yeah, I've been able to create the concrete for this structure from basically digging out. You'll see that I've dug a lot of stuff out, and in spite of all the concrete I've had to make, I have still got an unbelievable amount of stone in my storage boxes down below. The structure actually is not quite as solid as it seems. I mean, I think it's fairly solid, but underneath the concrete, it's just made out of frames, and because it's solid frames, if that makes sense, if there's no gaps between the frames, I just built the whole structure out of frames, then the integrity of it is still really, really good, and that way, yeah, it's not solid concrete. That would be crazy and would take a ridiculous amount of time to create. So how do we get into this? Well, as per usual, I have placed my entranceway quite some distance from my actual base, not a massive distance, but far enough that when my base inevitably draws heat, and oh boy does it ever, we don't attract zombies to the location where we're actually trying to enter and exit. So we have a vault entrance here, really near my farm. So I'll just shut that because zombies are not beyond simply, see, I've not finished this bit, simply sort of just dropping in, literally. So yeah, I haven't finished this bit. There's various bits I haven't finished, as you will see as we go. We've got another vault door there, just in case, just for the security conscious, you know. And this corridor hasn't been finished out either. I've just done the floor and the ceiling because I find underground bases, they tend to bug out a little bit unless you put some of your own sort of handmade blocks in. This is what it will look like when it's finished, but for the moment I've got more stone than I can possibly use. There's a lot of vault doors. This is basically a vault bunker underneath our main base. So I will show you around first. So that's our main entrance. In the center here, in fact, in this direction, we'll go this way first. This looks very Minecraftian. But in this direction, we have our forge chamber. Now, this is another trick that I'm very fond of, especially since the heat map hordes came out. I like my forges to be a good long way from my actual base. So this is where my forges and my camping fires are, in this room here. This also means that I don't superheat myself while I'm using my forges. They're not running at the moment because I didn't want a screaming horde turning up while I was doing a video. If we look at the map, you can see there's my base. there's my farm and my entrance, the opposite direction to my forge room, and you can see how far my forge room is actually from my main base. So there's my spawn point, there's the base. Okay, so the heat generated by my forges and campfires is going to be a good long way away. I have not put any spikes over the top of this, but I could do. And I probably will actually, because at the moment the screamers just kind of wander around until I pick them off. But it's not very easy for me to pick them off because I don't have a tower to snipe them from. The other thing I might consider doing is sort of creating a tower so that I can snipe at them. Because that's just fun. But when you've got an underground base, best thing to do is to put some spikes there. That kind of automatically deals with them then. And then the next thing, there's some bits of wall here I haven't finished as well, but that's partly because I want to mine out those resources also. So I've got more vault doors. This is the central bit, so in case you hadn't guessed, we're kind of based around the square here. And this is directly underneath our pyramid. So if I go in the middle there, you can see I'm pretty much directly underneath our pyramid. And we've got a couple of gun safes. We've got a ton of storage. So this is basically my concrete bunker under here. With loads and loads of stuff. And if I show you just how much stone I mined out when I made this place, and that's not all of it. Obviously there's the stuff that I also made, all the blooming concrete out of in the first place, and that's absolutely crazy. And then this is all the iron I mined out. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. You do not want to know how many tools I got through when I made this. Tell you, my tool crafting's pretty decent by now. And then we've got all of our living areas around here as well. So this was the first one I made, which is basically my respawn point, which is kind of important. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. I do believe in a little bit of comfort in the zombie apocalypse. Why not? Just because it's for the end of the world, why not have a little bit of sort of civilization, I guess. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. So that's my respawn point. That is the bedroom. I've got a little study area in here. I like to get a bit funky with the blocks that we have available. We don't have that many available, but I like to be a bit inventive. It annoys me that the safe actually hovers above the desk rather than sitting on top of it. That's a bit ridiculous, really. And I would quite like the option to be able to make a wall safe, really, but there you go. And I've looted a few paintings to make the place a bit more homely. And then we've got a ton of cabinets here which I can stow things in. Well, I'm not entirely sure what to stow there yet. It's a shame we can't make bookcases, really. And then the last door leads us through to my little kind of living kitchen area. So I've just got a sofa there, and then I don't know, I kind of do these just for the heck of it, but I also do like to have, a fridge and stuff like that. So this is kind of extra food storage, but it's just a little bit of immersion because, as I say, most of my stuff I keep in the main storage chamber in the centre here. Opposite my bedroom, just because that's the most practical place for it. And then I've obviously got some stuff stored by my forge as well. Then here we have a ladder which goes up to the next floor. And this is quite a number of floors, quite a number of blocks above, actually. This is about 40 blocks, I think, thereabouts. And this is basically the heart of the volcano. So I've got a couple of storage chests around to keep my ammo and things in as well. And this is the killing floor. So this is the killing zone, and basically what we've got there, as you can see, is an absolute shed load of fires. Now, I've used spikes, I've used long drops, you name it, I've used it in the past to sort of try and kill Zeds, and I'm very fond of iron bars as well, because of course we can shoot through them, and that's quite effective as well, and that way we get the experience even if we can't actually get the loot. But on Horde Night, who's looting? It's quite difficult, really. So there we are. So that's my sort of fire pit, and you can't really see from here, so we're going to go take a closer look. And in any case, you need to see my maintenance hatchway, because obviously those fires are not going to light and fuel themselves. So this is how we go about that. We've got another chest here, which is where I keep my stacks of coal. I've got some spare rebar frames for blocking up the hole, and some ladder, because inevitably this ladder gets destroyed come Horde night. So this isn't lit because I don't go down here at night. So we're very carefully going to go down here. Now, generally speaking, I don't actually light the fires in this corner because I set light to myself doing that. Yes, I have done that. So there you can see all my fires. You can see where, yeah, we can turn them on. Thankfully, you can operate these from really quite a distance, which is just as well, because otherwise we would die. And if we look up, you can see quite how far it is. We're a bit below the ground here. Basically, the steel section shows you more or less where the ground level is, just at the top of the steel section there. So we're a fair few blocks below the ground, and then that concrete bit is the bit that's above the ground. So maybe I should have called it iceberg rather than volcano, but yeah, with the fire it's definitely more of a volcano. So the plan is that the zombies hike up the outside of the volcano, damage themselves as they do on the spikes, and then they've got a fairly long drop down here, which should do them a bit of damage as well. Then they set light to themselves, then I shoot them in the face. That is the plan. Now, I haven't yet had a chance to test this on a horde, because as you can see, it's day 133. I haven't seen a feral horde in this game since, what was it? It was the one, day 52? Or no, day 56. So it's been quite a long time, and obviously this has been a long time in the building. So what I might have to do to test this, oops, there goes a bunny on one of my spikes. It's also quite good for hunting, but I'm damned if I can get at them. Maintaining the outside is quite fun. You basically have to put frames over the top of the spikes. There goes the rabbit. You have to put frames over the spikes so that you can hop over yourself without killing yourself. But yeah, it's very easy to get caught on your own traps, really. But yeah, in order to test this against a feral horde, I think probably what we would have to do is use a console command to set the time back to, you know, like day 14 or day 21 or something like that, because yeah, no horde has passed this way since I completed this, and as I say, it's not entirely finished yet, and I basically just got it to this state of finishedness to be able to showcase it. So yeah, shame I don't know exactly how well it will work just yet. But I have done this before with builds, and I will do it again. I will test it, but that will require cheating. So I thought in the meantime I would just show you guys what the thing looks like. It feels a pretty secure location to be in. I don't know how many tons of concrete I must have used in its construction. There's I don't know how many kilometers worth of tunnels to access it. It takes really quite a long time to get in and out of it. That is the only, there's a downside to every base. There is no such thing as an ideal base design. There are some that work pretty well, but to be quite honest, the major downside with this is it's really not very efficient to get in and out of. It does take a long time to get in and out of this base, and I find many of my base designs that is true of. So there we go. This is quite a quiet world. Even when I put the spawn settings up, it's not much. There's not much to tell around here. And you can see some slightly glitchy shadows as well. I think it's the spikes that cause that. But if we wanted to get up here and maintain any of the spikes or anything, for example, we would have to get wood frames and basically make sort of wood frame steps over to the top there. And be careful not to fall down at the top, because as I can attest, that sort of hurts in a variously fatal kind of way. So there we go, guys. Just a bit of a brief tour of my new base. Maybe I will, I don't know, if I get chance to test this, maybe I shall add that to the end of the video, or maybe I shall have to make a separate video to show that. But in the meantime, I just thought I would give a bit of a base tour of this as my sort of latest project. If you're a fan of, hello bear, if you're a fan of my, oh, there's some Zeds as well, speak of the devil. If you're a fan of the creative builds, do keep a lookout, because, oh, come on. There we go. That's better. There we are. Keep a lookout because I will keep... I will keep posting those. There we go. Oh, tuna fish. Don't mind if I do. What about you, Nurse? You got anything useful for me? Yes, she has. Oh, hello. And now they all come. Do they not? And there's one being attacked by a bear. That's okay. I like to see that. There we are. I think we got him in the face, didn't we? Fantastic. And I'll have that too. Okay. Cool. So, I hope you like this base build. As I say, it's just been a bit of a scratch tour. The whole thing isn't absolutely finished yet. It's not far off. It's near enough. I'm pretty pleased with it. Just wish I had a horde to test it against. Who knows? Maybe one will turn up. But I think we were due one last night and that didn't show. So, not sure. Might just have to use the old console command to deal with that one. I hope you enjoyed looking at this base as much as I enjoyed building it. It's been a long slog, but it's been worth it. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. I like my raised garden as well. I am a recent convert to organised farming. Yeah, and let me know what you think, and check out what other stuff I've got on my channel as well, not just the creative stuff. I've got my survival series, I've got my co-op series, all in 7 Days to Die, and then of course I've got various other survival and other kind of games as well, so check it all out if you haven't done so before, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Till then, guys, keep gaming, keep surviving, and stay happy. See you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.